Dr. LaShonda Calvert, and I am a professor of history. I am honored and privileged to speak to you today, considering that this is Black History Month. In honor of Black History Month, I think it is important to recognize the development of Negro spirituals, also known as the spirituals and African American spirituals. African American spirituals were created by slaves presiding on slave plantations in the American South. The spirituals were developed in the last few decades of the 18th century, leading up to the abolishment of slavery of the 1860s. Although many slaves could not read or write, they still were able to create songs from their hearts, which depicted sorrows, struggles, inspiration, and hope. Hope that one day that they would achieve freedom, whether physically from enslavement or spiritually from death to heaven. The spirituals were often passed down from generation to generation and often sung in a call and response form, which originated in Africa. And this is where the lead singer would lead a text and a chorus of singers would follow behind with a refrain. Some spirituals were also known as sorrow songs, very intense, very slow, heart to heart dialogue between them and Jesus, because they realized and they recognized that if no one else understood their pains and their struggles and their agonies, they realized that Jesus did. And they knew that he could relate to their pains of an oppressive system called slavery. Slaves would call out to God and sing to each other songs like, "Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, a long way from home." And then there were upbeat songs, jubilant songs that gave slaves inspiration and hope to keep moving forward. Songs like "Fare Ye Well." And songs like "Fare Ye Well" represented this: "My brothers and sisters, I don't have long to be here. There's a place called heaven, where the streets are paved with gold, where there are no more whips and no more lashes and no more raping and no more being taken advantage of, no more toiling in the sun from sun up to sundown, no more face masks, no more neck collars, but a time that is glorious, a time that represents freedom, a time that represents no more tears, no more death." And so "Fare Ye Well" was a representation, it was symbolic that one day that they would achieve this freedom. Songs, these spirituals gave slaves hope. They believed and had confidence that if they didn't experience freedom on the earth, heaven would be their escape. It brought great joy to many. Songs were created by slaves as a form of protest, resistance, and slave codes. With these songs, they all had one thing in common, which is freedom. Songs like "Steal Away" had two purposes. One, steal away to Jesus. Two, steal away to escape to the north. Kind of went something like this: "Steal away, steal away got long to stay here. Cold songs like Wade in the Water. It is believed that songs such as this was used oftentimes for the Underground Railroad, especially by the conductor known as Moses of her day, Harriet Tubman. Most people believe that she used this song to warn slaves to get in the water, to hide their scent from the slave catching dogs on their trail. And I could just imagine them running, getting closer and closer to their freedom, and realizing that the dogs were just miles away. And I can just envision Harriet Tubman starting off slow and low. Wade in the waters, wade in the waters, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the waters. After the Civil War ended in 1865, spirituals became an integral part of form of music. Some supported it, some did not. There were many African Americans who did not see the need to continue this tradition and practice of singing what they referred to at one point as Negro spirituals. And the reason being they felt like these spirituals represented the past, let the past stay in the past is the belief that they had. But despite that belief, spirituals was a very important feature of our music in America as it relates to African Americans and others. These spirituals continue to stimulate hope. For example, African American spirituals became an inspirational and important tool during the Civil Rights Movement. One of the most popular Civil Rights Movement theme songs was This Little Light of Mine. According to protesters of the 1960s, this became the theme song of the Civil Rights Movement. This Little Light of Mine gave protesters like Fannie Lou Hamer confidence, lessened their fears, served as a means of protection and encouragement. Sometimes this song would even prevent physical altercations, according to marchers and protesters. This Little Light of Mine is simply a song of power. It's a shout of courage, still sung today in the Me Too movement as well as the women's movement. There is an anointing that makes this song so powerful, that makes this song so unique. This song has been used for decades to celebrate and to recognize justices, to connect people across the world. Doesn't matter what your race is, color, national origin, sexual orientation, employment, economic status, or age. It just simply somehow make you feel better when you sing it, even if you can't sing. In conclusion, I believe African American spirituals will always be the fabric that helps us understand and appreciate African American history, not only during the month of Black History Month, but all year long. And what better time than now to sing This Little Light of Mine, considering the difficulties and the challenges of 2020 and even today. Please join me and my sisters as we aspire to let our light shine today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Turn on your light and help us sing. This little light of mine